Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, with everything going on yesterday, it is only natural that quite a bit of information slipped through the cracks, and some more information came out later as well. So I didn't make a version 50.1 release note video, but before I go any further, there was once again an issue with the Twitch drops, and if you haven't heard about it, there is a promo code. It's sorry about that, and it's gonna give you all 3 Twitch drops effectively, like 5 energy refills, 3 revives, and 3 of those Legends crystals. So again, if you want free stuff and you haven't used this code already, you can go ahead to the web store and get some free stuff. So this is the code. Sorry about that. So let's get back to the main points. Always, release notes, well, they kind of overhang with the streams and the stream announcements, as we know. For instance, the new champions, Yelena Belova, Dark Phoenix, Cyclops buff, all that's happening. But now I can tell you, even before Yelena Belova deep dives out, my initial suspicions were right. She is, in fact, going to be a 5 out of 5 defender. That means this month we're not only going to get Dark Phoenix, that's going to burn us all alive, but also we're going to have to learn how to deal with this reversal block damaging the little whatever. Okay, so we're getting a 5 out of 5 defender here. Not entirely sure about her offensive capabilities. So Dark Phoenix, again, primarily defender. And we have Cyclops Blue Team. I made a separate video about Cyclops and his ability breakdown, and I think there's potential. I think a lot of people will love him because he's going to be quite fun. But his overall meta relevance still remains to be seen, kind of hanging on the necessity and usefulness of his true focus ability as well as the signature ability. Ultimately, though, he definitely looks very fun, and I look forward to using him. So the Phoenix rework, we saw that happening as well. The Judgment's still out on that one, because you can't really tell, is her damage good, is it not? So we'll see. But ultimately, the breakdown in between these 2 champions, Phoenix and Dark Phoenix, by the way, is fairly simple. We have the good one and the poor people Phoenix. So, the Dark Phoenix is going to be a very potent defender with some offensive uses, and the regular Phoenix is just going to be an offensive champion. We'll see how good or bad she's going to turn out to be. But it is kind of funny how this game went from one Phoenix that was 6-star rarity gated, completely forgotten by the game and left out, to having 2 Phoenixes and Jean Grey, and all of them have potential to be relevant. So let's see what happens with that. Event Quest, still my standard, nobody really cares. Oh no, wait. Event Quest we do care about, because that is going to be the Valiant EQ test run, so it's going to be Valiant type of gauntlet. One of the bigger things here that I think I left out yesterday is the fact that you will also be able to do Paragauntlet now without needing to explore Thronebreaker EQ. So, last month was the final time I did Thronebreaker EQ. Absolutely did not need to do that. So, I look forward to not having to do Thronebreaker EQ anymore. That's awesome. Very good. Side quest, there's nothing special with this one. We'll see, standard rewards, couple of quests, fine. Saga Chase quest, Phoenix Rising. So we're finally going to be able to get the 7-star Phoenix once we get the 75 Dark Plumes. Valiant Gauntlet. Okay, I already mentioned that. That's tied with the side quest. Redemption Arc, Thunderbolts, Battlegrounds event. Now this is kind of interesting. So for the duration of the Battlegrounds pre-season 29, we will be running Thunderbolts themed solo events and objectives that will reward Battlegrounds consumables as well as crystals and cosmetic items. It needs something a little bit extra to do in the off-season. I know some people don't like the fact that, you kind of are encouraged to play Battlegrounds in off-season, but for me, I always test things in off-season anyway, so I definitely do look forward to that. Now we do have this Heart of Fire Crystals event. That's definitely controversial. I'll leave it at that. There are split opinions about how Kabam handled it, but now we have some very meaningful bug fixes here. And this is one of the reasons why I chose to make this video to begin with. Because there's a fairly significant bug fix coming to Purgatory. Can you guess what it is? If you didn't read it yet. Okay, so I'm going to read the bug fix description and then I'm going to tell you effectively what it means. Fixed an issue where Purgatory's extra special 3 damage could be increased by other sources and updated her description accordingly. I love how they call it fixed an issue. They clearly just nerfed her. They clearly, that is a nerf, because that was not an issue, and nowhere was it said before that it was meant to not work that way and stuff like that. So, what they have done here is mainly nerf her for raids. Now let's face it, in most other game modes, people don't really use Purgatory, even though she did have some, you know, let's say use in Necropolis and stuff like that, because that level 3 would do significant amount of damage. But the point here is, she's not going to be able to nuke in raids anymore. That's about as simple as that. So this is a big warning with the next set of raids coming up. And I know a ton of people using Purgatory. Don't. It's not going to work. You're going to be pissed off. Purgatory no longer raids MVP. We just need to make that as clear as possible. Purgatory, got it. Now, again, to be fair, we kind of all thought this is coming. What I genuinely thought, I was just going to take Purgatory out of the raids champion pool. I think that it would have been easier, because, you know, then it wouldn't affect any other area of the game. But they chose to change Purgatory itself. Again, I think the less optimal of the solutions, but fine, whatever. There are a few more bug fixes. Like updated the display of health gain from converting adrenaline to blue rather than green. That's kind of cool. I like that. Fixed an issue active for only 50.0 in which all vicious effects incorrectly had their potency set 100. So this is a good and a bad thing. The good in this is that champions like Mr. Sinister were only affected for this 1 month. So effectively right now they do more damage than they did before, and they will do next month. Right? So that's the good thing. So if you used Mr. Sinister, let's say a month and a half ago, and you were happy with him, then nothing's going to change next month. The bad thing is, obviously, a ton of champions will do significantly less damage, and that kind of ironically also includes Purgatory for this month and this update. So that's the funny thing, because this also interacted with the Ghost Rider relic, and even though the Vicious passive there was incredibly weak, like 6%, it gave you the 100% damage bonus, to a point where right now in Battlegrounds you can use like a rank 2 Purgatory to nuke down a rank 4 Serpent in like 60 some seconds. Now part of it is obviously the interaction with the nodes, but part of it is definitely the fact that Purgatory is doing significantly more damage right now, as well as some other champions. So, to be as blunt as possible, that's going away. And was there something else that is quite significant? Well, they fixed the Labyrinth await. That also matters. Fixed an issue in which the global await in Labyrinth of Legends was ignoring await prevention from the effects such as True Focus. Not that Labyrinth is a relevant piece of content anymore, but, you know, it's better than it's fixed anyways. So there we go. Those are the main things that changed. Poor Purgatory is taking a beating. Right. So here's Kabam Crash talking about the Dark Phoenix. So she's not going to be just a trophy champion. Effectively, she's going to be in similar spot to Jessica Jones. She will have most impact on defense, but will have some attacking use as well. Also, the change to Alliance War, obviously they were not mentioned there, but Kabam Crash has kind of weighed in there. So, hey all, I understand the risk aversion from the group of players currently playing high tier war. I would just ask you to all to give it a chance. Right now, we all have it planned for 1 season. We don't have it penciled in for any future seasons at this time. Let's give it a try and see how it goes. You say nobody's asking for changes to AW, but actually lots of players are asking for change to AW. The people playing in tier 1 are the survivors of the current system. A very small part of the player base. Someone else in this thread mentioned this might be better for lower tier alliances. If that's the case, we might end up in the future where top tiers play existing format and lower tiers play this one. This is just an example, but nothing is set in stone yet. So again, give it a chance, and if it doesn't work, we won't bring it back. Part of trying to make the game more exciting means we have to be able to experiment now and then. I kind of agree with it. Again, on personal level, I am the type of guy that does play Tier 1 Alliance War. I don't like the changes, I didn't want them, I didn't ask for them, but I am also the type of guy that typically always encourages Kabam to try out new things and experiment with them. Therefore, even though I personally don't like what they're doing here at all, I can see why they're doing it, and it would be disingenuous for me to completely crash out on them for trying out new things that I always have encouraged them to do. Now again, I do think they're doing it in completely the wrong way. I think if they wanted to do a test run, they could have done it in off-season and improved some sort of off-season rewards, or extended the off-season and, you know, try this out for 1 or 2 weeks in the off-season from the, let's say, a 3-week off-season or something like that. I don't think it had to be instead of a normal Alliance War experience. But, you know, I don't like it, but let's give it a go, is my type of attitude towards it. And then, once again, Twitch drop compensation. If you haven't claimed it, go and do that. You're going to get some free stuff. So, that's it for now, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, we have all the information about